What's up, guys? We're back here in the GSL Code A. Very short, straightforward first best of 5. Zest absolutely tore Patience apart.
Yeah, he shredded him pretty bad.
It was atypical for PvP as well. Normally, somebody either wins early on or they figure out a way to get ahead in mid-game and maintain that. In that best of 5, we had 2 games where Patience was essentially ahead, but Zest was so much better at stalling his opponent out and then engaging perfectly.
He never took his advantage and did anything with it, and then like Zest just got so far ahead. It was, Zest is so much better than Patience. Like if you like games like that, then watch the series. If you don't, then don't. If
you play a lot of PvP and you don't know what to do when you get behind, maybe you're in one of these kind of railroad track mindsets.
Yeah,
you can look at those or that series and definitely see what it takes to engineer a comeback.
Yeah, it was like watching an MMA fighter against Tasteless. It would just like...
Yeah, that MMA fighter would be in the hospital in seconds, man. That's exactly what it looked like.
If you had a gun, he would still beat you.
Here we got a herO against Armani.
Yes. Armani kind of a qualifier herO in the last... 2 years? We've seen him pop up in qualifiers, do reasonably well. Every now and then he gets a televised match. Does okay. He's actually a pretty good Zerg. But he's going up against this man, CJ herO, who is going to demolish him, most likely.
Most likely. If we have to be honest with you guys, that's what should happen here. herO is also, again, one of the biggest Protosses in the world, along with Zest. We got great Protosses today here.
Yeah.
Armani, nothing against the guy, just herO has had so much more success.
Well, herO's a guy that you look at and you're like, even when he's just in Code A, you're like, he might win this season of Code S. Because you assume he'll just get right through. He's one of the people that when he drops Code A, I say literally, I'm like, don't worry, we'll see him next season. Yeah. Because no one in the open qualifier is as good as him.
It's like, true.
It literally doesn't even matter who he gets. And I think that'll remain this way.
Here's our map lineup. First of all, for maps cut out of this, herO voted out Expedition Lost. Armani votes out Bonnie Research Station. That left us with Echo, Terraform, Cactus Valley, Coda, and Iron Fortress.
Yeah, really, really smart bans. Like Expedition Lost, Zergs can turn it into a base trade rather easily, and it can be a very hard base to defend your natural and your third on, so that's a smart ban for herO. And Bonnie, of course, you're going to let herO have a base for free? Okay, yeah, now try to beat him. Like, you need every edge, you need every possibility to try to fight against a guy this good.
And we are going right into this game. Again, the map will be on Echo, a PvZ, and a best of 5. The winner takes one of the last 2 remaining spots here in the GSL Code S. It should be herO, but let's see. Maybe Armani has not 1 ace, but 3 aces up his sleeve, and can somehow manage to topple one of the best Protosses of all time in StarCraft II.
herO's a royal flush to aces. I don't think so. 3 aces ain't gonna do that. 3 aces are just going to cost him his stack.
And the bottom right in the res.
CJ herO.
Sometimes we fade out of these songs and I hear the last few lyrics and I'm like, wow, that was weird for an esports tournament. One more kiss, creeping down your spine. In the upper left in the blue, he is
Samsung Galaxy Armani.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's a
well,
9
this
right
is,
there.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to start out with a build that has a high chance of beating herO, this is it. This is really aggressive. This is not at all normal for, well, it's not abnormal, but it's certainly okay to do. Hey, guys, welcome to the studio. Thanks for coming down.
Wow. A lot of people coming in today.
Yeah, guys.
You guys are enjoying.
And hopefully this series is not as one-sided as the last one, man, because Patience got wrecked.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit better, though. As I was saying before, Armani going for a quick pull here. Yeah. Sometimes you can do some damage, but we already see the Forge has started.
Yeah, that makes it tough because Forge expands are pretty in style at the moment, and this should allow herO to defend this without too much problem. Like, he's going to see those Zerglings so early on. Should be able to get a cannon up, have everything in place to be able to block it off, but we'll see what Armani can get done here.
So the probe is going to run right into these 6 lings. And you can see this probe over here already in position. He sees what's happening now.
Yeah, he wants to get that cannon up, of course, right away. Prevent those lings from running in.
And he's going to go with just 1 cannon and get the Nexus here.
Yep, knows his timings very well. Knows how long it takes for these Zerglings to run across that map.
A lesser player would have had a 2nd cannon, or
Artosis would have made a complete wall in. Complete wall in. 3 probes.
It's funny because I know what you're talking about. Well, I've done the opposite on ladder. I'm like, no, I'm fine.
I'd be like,
I think I know this. Like, and then they just run into my main. Like, they kill 1 ling with a cannon and there's 3 in my main. I'm like, well, I could leave or I could go into a 30-minute game that I'll lose later.
So, to put this in perspective, this is his Nexus is up well before the hatchery. The drone count is pretty pitiful for the moment at 13 against 18 probes. He's got a full defended wall in. This is nothing but good for herO, nothing but bad for Armani so far.
Also, the way this probe's positioned, he can actually still wall this off if the lings try to dart up. He can make a pylon right below that if they do try to do that. I don't think he's going to try. Look at that. Cybernetics core there. Zealot started. Guys, herO got the better build order. Armani was hoping that herO would not be completely prepared, and I do like the build that Armani did, because I think you have to do builds sometimes like this. Maybe to beat somebody like herO, especially in a best of 5. But
herO's not going to play greedy at all in this series.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. He just kind of defends everything and goes into the later game, and he'll be in good shape.
Now he's even got a Zealot out, so everything looking great for herO at the moment. We'll see what Armani wants to do to try to rebound from this little recession he's in, because herO is not buying any designer clothes from him today.
Is this going to sneak out? Okay, no, he sees it. Sometimes when you have bad builds like this, you'll actually see the probe walk right by the lings, because the other guy is stressing out in his booth, thinking, "Oh God, oh man,
yeah,
I'm already off to a bad start in the series."
And to get that out, it's pretty cool, actually. Gets to see a 3rd base as opposed to no 3rd base, which could scare you and, you know.
Make you make more cannons, get ready to defend.
Yeah, you even see the Queen coming up, so that is actually a lot of intel that he just gained from sneaking that out. So, you know, a little mistake there by Armani letting that through, but, you know, that's forgivable. That happens.
+1 attack about halfway done. There's no clear tech here for herO. We just know he's getting that +1 attack upgrade. And he almost got the Stargate, and he just moved it down a little bit to make sure it was out of the range of Overlord's sight. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, even gets the probe back home. Wow.
I'm pretty sure the probe went by the Armani gift shop on the way back there. He got to go through the whole tour of everything going on that side of the map.
Seriously.
Watch this. Gonna force field it. Or he just got, oh man, this is...
He saw the Stargate, right?
Actually, you're gonna have to check. I'm not totally sure if he did.
Let's just make up our own reality and tell the audience. Yeah, I know, he saw it.
Okay.
And
so
he canceled it. Canceled it.
Wow.
That's actually really interesting, because even if they see it, it's still completely a valid and good tech. It's like cool to have an Oracle out. It can help you out a lot in certain situations, but he does not actually need it.
Well, this is, I think, a great response as well, is hopping over and making another Nexus.
Let's see if he starts Spores.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Because if he does, then herO's build really worked when he canceled that building. And he does. He starts 1 Spore.
Yeah, I think you just have to, because it's just too scary.
Well, also, it's pretty tough when you're in a live match like this to have the exact math on that down.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. No, that Nexus is a little bit too soon.
Well, he could have skipped other things probably to get it,
sure,
right? Like,
yeah.
So it does become very, very difficult, but now he's making Spores that are completely unneeded. He's getting some upgrades. I kind of like the fact that we're seeing melee attack as opposed to range. Definitely could see some flavorful play here from Armani.
And I guess from here, the question is, what, strats does Armani have in store for us? As far as economics go, herO's just going to get in a huge lead. He's getting this 3rd base up here. He's forced out Spores. He's continuing to upgrade. With some lings coming out here and 18 more on the way, Maybe there's a small chance he tries to do an attack. I think that might be a bit futile considering that this expansion's already up.
Yeah.
And there's certainly enough sentries here that he can have adequate force field. So not totally sure what the game plan is. Also, we're kind of in limbo here. We're in between 1-1 upgrades for Zerg, so he's making a bunch of lings. I'm not entirely sure, especially showing them here like he is for the Mothership Core. I'm not entirely clear on what his plan is.
I'm a little bit off too. I think it's going to be like a Hydralisk Den. He just wants to have a lot of units, realizing he is behind. Okay, he actually throws up Infestation Pit immediately and a Spire. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. I didn't expect this, but
well, it's not considering the bad position Armani's already in. I guess it's not a bad direction to try to take the game. I mean, this ship might be headed towards an iceberg, but he might at least be able to steer it as much as possible out of the way.
The thing is, I think it's headed towards Antarctica, but we'll see. Maybe some evasive maneuvers.
Right now, that oversteer's iceberg.
I mean, global warming exists, but fast enough to save Armani this game?
From hitting the iceberg? I don't know. Good question. You can see the Lings have been poking in here, but there's already adequate enough defense. Spire not quite done, and certainly there's more than enough time here for herO to get all the building blocks in place so that he should have the defense for this.
This I really like, Tasteless. The fact that he is going for Infesterling, that's like such an old style. The thing is, Infestors are still a good unit. No one makes them really, though, because they aren't nearly as good as they used to be, and there's other ways that people like to play. It's like the meta just kind of shifted away from that. But this could be really, really neat.
Also, the Zealot's coming up here now like this. If he gets his hatchery before it gets done, and the Lings are actually coming in here quite late. In fact, there's no way these Zealots can be stopped.
Yeah, and in fact, they can even turn around and fight reasonably well. Yeah, 1-1 Lings, but, well, I guess not with that big of a surround. Hatchery going down. But, okay, we have 14 mutas on the way.
But also 2 more Stargates.
Yeah.
Actually, that would just be 2 Stargates because he canceled that earlier one. So just 2 Stargates. So he can actually bank Phoenixes.
And, you know, he actually canceled the pathogen glands. But if a lot of Phoenixes are coming out, you know, Infestor can be used to help lock those down for the mutas. But, okay, this is pretty neat. He's going to be going for lots of mutas, lots of Lings. See what he can get done.
And so the hallucinated Phoenixes are going to fork out here. And this is good, even just keeping these mutas busy. herO should be in good shape this game as long as he can keep the defense up. But I do like Armani's double expand.
Yeah.
With mutas out, I mean, you can keep the Protoss pretty busy. And Protoss has a harder time trying to get a 4th base on this.
Looks like he's microing these Phoenixes quite heavily. It's going to be hard against this many mutas to make just a small amount of Phoenixes worthwhile to micro. The amount of time it takes this many Phoenixes and the amount of micro you have to put in because they don't have range yet is pretty intense. But it looks like he does want to go for the Fleet Beacon, realizing that that is a hell of a lot of mutas.
And with the Phoenixes actually beginning to stack up here, we're having Corruptors forced into play.
In fact, it looks like he wants to go for Broodlord tech eventually. And he is making a lot of spines to go with this, so that makes a lot of sense. Because he's not going to win it. He needs to do something like bring it to late game and just like hold on forever. If Armani is to win this game, it's either through a really bad base trade from herO or it's like a 45-minute game.
He could try pushing creep pretty hard across the diamond center diamond here. Maybe try to set that up.
It's not a diamond I'd pay a lot of money for because it's like, I like diamonds that are... This is like an oblong diamond. You like diamonds that last
forever? He could try to push that, though, and put creep on the high ground and put spores and spines there, maybe. I don't know if Protoss is going to let that happen, but if he can get his creep spread fast enough.
Yeah, that's on the high ground. God, that's so powerful.
Yeah, don't know if he's going to get it, but let's see. Even then, though, just having control of the high ground on this side makes it hard for Protoss to expand. Protoss might try to expand to bottom center, maybe upper right up there in the shot we have here. But neither is really that easy for him to hold.
I hope herO does not kill him here.
Yeah, I want to see
this. I hope he has to turn around because this is actually really exciting. Like what Armani's trying to do with this, it's really smart. Like a lot of people would just look at where they were at, like after that hatchery kill, the fact that his opening build was thwarted, you know, the fact that just everything went hero's way, but Armani has gotten himself to 200 supply with an interesting set of units with a lot of static D. Who knows what he can get done here?
Lings are coming up now. Nexus Cannon activated. Then we're going to have a full-on shove in here. Blinking right on top of that Nexus doing so much damage to these mutants. Broodlord's trying to come out. I believe there's only 3 here on screen. And the number of Stalkers is scary, but the Phoenix number is even scary. It looks like actually now going to be able to target down these Broodlords, making the ground army that much stronger as we have no more Spine Crawlers here on the low ground. He blinked out, he blinked in.
You know, he actually needed all those lanes, unfortunately.
Yep. Maybe he sent down like 2 dozen or something.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe not even that.
Really, really smart thinking by Armani to try something like that. You try to go into like Roach Hydra against herO after that start, he kills you every single time.
Yeah.
So this was like, he's really trying to make it a complicated, like harder position for herO to break. But
Armani didn't do a bad job in the late game considering the deficit he was in early on.
Totally agree with you.
Some props to him for that. And guess who we got in the booth now over here? It's Stork.
Is that Bisu?
It's Bisu, guys. It is Stork in the booth now. Obviously, he's one of our Code S players as well, but also a coach. Probably going to be able to give some very good insight there.
Certainly.
To
I guarantee you understands everything that's going on here. I guarantee you that the advice he's giving is better than most coaches out there. Like Stork is a complete and absolute genius.
And now we're going to go to game number 2 here on Terraform. I'm hoping this is not a 3-0 Artosis.
Me too. Armani could take a game. Like he's a smart Zerg man. He's been working hard for a very long time. He's not really well known or anything unless you super follow StarCraft. You see his name some, but other than that, he's a good player. So we'll see what he has here on Terraform. We've seen some funny cheeses from time to time on this map.
And the map countdown has actually started. Let's not forget Armani opened up with Quick Pool in game 1. herO had an answer. How will he open up this time around? This is also a very differently shaped map. Third base gets a little bit more complicated for Zerg and for Protoss.
Yeah.
So mid to late game, if we get to it, should be pretty interesting. Anyways, game number 1 here. herO versus Armani on the map Terraform in our last day of the GSL Code S. The bottom right in the red, he is
GJN2's herO.
In the upper left in the blue, he is
Samsung Galaxy Armani.
This is the part where Artosis talks about the gas trick.
Yeah, it's not as good as making your Overlord on 9, and a lot of players still do it, but it's not so much worse that I can say much more than that.
You can condemn it.
Like I used to condemn it a lot more, but it's like whatever. it's like the difference is not gigantic, but someone did the math and 9 Overlord's better.
Artie.
Yes. Yes, sir.
What's going on? He's making a gold base, it looks like.
It's like a proxy gold base. It's on the funny side of the minerals. You make, oh, I can't get the gas over here.
So this game should be short.
Yes,
of course,
this
a less predictable
absolutely.
scout location, also a less efficient mining position as the... Now we can even go to the concave and convex of the minerals, Artosis. I can't even go there now.
And imagine if he wants to mine gas from there. It takes him like 3 days.
He's going to have to draw Mickey Mouse ears around this expansion with the drone pathing.
He's going to need like 48 drones mining gas to make it efficient.
And even then, one must question if that is truly efficient to have more drones mining gas than minerals.
I tell you, there's definitely games I've seen from Zerg where they'd like that. Well, he's going to go ahead, scout, and just be like, wait, where's the hatchery?
Where's your hatch?
Where's your,
pretty sure Zergs have a hatch by now.
Oh, he's going to go down, check the
but
gold
look,
base.
he's checking the normal places.
He's like, oh,
you would probably want to mine gas from here, too.
You probably took your gold base.
Check over here. Well, let's watch what the next waypoint is.
Okay, wait a minute here. Did you take my gold base? He's going to go scout, and it's not going to be there. And then what? Does he scout the left side of his main? I want to see if he does, because herO is a guy that has lost so many times to
he's
silly
checking.
stuff.
Now, notice the efficiency of the scout here. The question is, does he get in range of the creep?
Oh, no.
No, he doesn't know.
Absolutely
Oh!
not. Okay, does he scout the left side of his main? There is enough room in there for a hatchery, I believe. Yeah, there is. Absolutely.
Is he going to check it?
Goes back. He's like, where
the hell is that gold base?
Oh, Armani's done a good job. He has sure as hell tricked him.
He's going to check up here. No.
Wait a minute.
He's going to peek by the natural.
He just checks top right of Armani's base and finds a Macratch. He's like, what? Oh, man. He sees that there's still gas being mined. He knows there's over 100 gone. This is where you frantically build your wall.
Panic mode right here. All right, so we have the robo starting here. Whoa.
That's a wobo.
This is interesting. I didn't think... well, I guess let's see how this actually works.
I'm surprised he's walling with a robo here.
I thought he was going to wall in with a forge or something like that. Maybe that'd be too late. I'm not totally sure.
I feel like I would go 2 gates there and a forge in my main because I'd be like, no. But that's because I play at a much lower level on the ladder where people do crazy stuff, you know? Okay, that's a lot of roaches,
7 roaches.
Okay, so the robo's gone, the gate's gone, the pylons are gone.
Possibly
the Nexus
herO's gone.
Should die, I think.
Now...
Yeah, he doesn't.
Let's remember this threat. If herO could somehow survive the early game, herO can start to bounce back. This is not an efficient position to mine. He actually has 4 drones mining from the gold minerals here.
Yeah, this is...
Problem is he banks up all these roaches over here at the upper right, so they actually can get down here and probably actually just hit this robo before it even gets done.
He's looking at this and saying, can I get this immortal out? And targeting down that pylon, that's definitely the way to do it. Oh, man.
And that's just out of range there of the other pylon that's warping in here. Now, there's more pylons making. Unfortunately, I think there's been a little bit of indecisiveness here on which structure he's going to hit.
Yeah, certainly you're right about that, Tasteless. In fact, he's going to get an immortal out because of it. Oh, if he had just, like, targeted down that robo immediately, I think he gets
the
it,
are
right?
going to come up here and get us around.
Well,
oh my God, that force field was so good. Is he going to survive this?
Yeah, I guess.
What? Are you serious? Are you serious? I can't even believe this. The immortal might even actually live if he micros it back just a little bit.
I think he had to keep it right exactly
there. You think so?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He had to keep him single file.
Oh my God, I can't believe this.
That's just insane. GG. I can't even believe that hold. Okay, you know what today
That was esports fan fiction.
Seriously.
That wasn't... This looked like it wasn't even an esports match. It looked like it was a manga comic about esports, okay?
I want to be a StarCraft coach. I want to walk in the booth holding my gut laughing, like hysterically on camera, like high-fiving and stuff, because this is like, we're watching Majin Buu against Krillin here today, Taste. That's about, man. Stark is like, oh man, he's so good. I can't. You should have targeted the robo. You already know that. Just do the build you had planned for you in this next match. God, no, I don't think you're going to win. I'm so sorry. Those qualifiers are tough. I just lip-read everything Stork said.
He should have just gone for the robo. Even the robo, that's it. The robo
after he got the pylon, if he immediately targeted the robo, he wins the game.
Yeah, just stick on the robo.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He had some indecision. He wanted to get in and kill the pylons. But, you know, don't always go after... The thing is, there were 2 pylons there, an Artosis pylon and a Tasis pylon backing it up.
That's right.
So he should have just killed the robo. That's
right. Unfortunately, when it's just one in control pylon, it's not going to cut it.
No, that's... You need a buddy to back you up.
Well, 2-0 now. I'm seeing a deja vu. It might be a glitch in the Matrix, Artosis. We might have another 3-0.
It could be.
Yeah.
Cactus Valley. Hard to imagine herO losing on this map. It's a giant map. But, you know, giant maps can be very good preserved.
Sure.
But, and you know what? The way that he played map 1, I could see him like getting the spines in the right places, playing kind of a turtly game. Maybe he can do it. Maybe.
I think the problem is, even on a map this big, I think herO knows how to play around the fact that it's a big map.
Yeah,
you know?
Certainly. It's not so big when you're warping in stars.
Let's make it hot.
In the upper right, in the red, our Protoss player, he is
CJN2's herO.
in the upper left, in the blue.
Samsung Galaxy Armani.
You know, that shouldn't have happened that last game, but I do love seeing holds like that.
Yeah,
it
no,
is so
totally.
fun.
It's so clutch. It's so ridiculous. But now we have herO scouting Armani first. Armani's Overlord went in the wrong direction, so like herO gaining a small edge to begin.
House favors herO.
Yeah. The odds are on herO for this game.
Yes.
Well, just trying to check the pool speed so that he can go for his Nexus first.
And it's going to see everything here so far.
Yeah, and that's an easy Nexus first. No problem whatsoever getting that up and defending
Pool
against anything.
late enough, you could squeeze out a little bit more econ play and still hold off anything Zerg is going to try to throw at you.
Well, speaking about squeezing out a little bit more econ play, how were your solo casts?
They were good. I felt I think the first day I did it, I felt so weird doing the solo cast about 2 weeks ago. First time, I like said something. And I'm like, well, this is the part where someone's supposed to say something. Then I have a well-crafted sentence after that.
Yeah.
But about maybe 10, 20 minutes into it, I really got the hang of it, and it was a lot of fun.
You know what?
But,
to be honest, I woke up at like 7 a.m. on the day of your first one.
Because you set your alarm clock because you love esports?
That's it.
Yeah.
And I went upstairs to my mom's house and like put it on my iPad.
He was on
watching.
vacation, by the way, guys, in case you're wondering.
And I liked it. In fact, I liked it better than you and I together.
Yeah, I think we need to break up, man.
I think we need to just take turns soloing.
I think this is where the boy band breaks up and we each go become independent artists.
I think that's it.
No, but it was good. But let me tell you something. My throat and mouth hurt.
Yeah.
It was a lot of shouting, a lot of talking. So it's good to have you back here. And I'm actually going to be gone, guys, next week.
That's right.
I'm
You're
going to be
on
out of
vacation
town.
to see your dad.
Yeah, I'm going out of town, visit family. So
it's that
I'll
time
be
of
out
year.
town.
You gotta visit the fam.
Got to go visit the fam, man. So this will be my last cast for just a little bit, guys. Then I'll be back.
I think there's only one day of Code S next week. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's all you're missing, one day.
Yeah, I set this up perfectly, man. I'm hardly missing anything now. But I'll miss you, Artosis. It'll be
Yeah, I'll miss you
too
too.
good to have a little break.
That's okay.
but
We'll talk on the phone.
yeah, every night. Before we go
I'll
to
call
bed.
your dad's house and ask. I'm like, hi, Mr. Plotnik there. It's like, Nick, your friend's on
Your
the phone.
friends on the phone. Can you tell them to stop calling after 11? You know I work in the morning.
Oh, man.
We have the cybernetic score. Did you ever have a friend that did that when you were much younger? A friend that would call the house just like too late?
Oh, wait, you mean friends really call each other's houses?
I had this kid who would just call my house on school nights at like 1 a.m. when I was in middle school, and I'm like,
oh, really?
I was like, you know, he would call and like wake up the house, man. Like,
Oh, my God, that'd be so funny.
yeah. And she's like, you can't call here. And he's like, oh, okay, sorry. Then he'd do it like a week later, and I'm like, listen, you don't understand what it's like.
Why
what's
was he
going
up
on
at 1
in
a.m. calling you?
I don't know. He was from one of those houses where they didn't put the kid to bed.
What the hell did he have to talk to you about at 1 a.m.?
Dude, nothing, man. I never found out because my
Like,
mom.
what
would-
are you thinking?
I'm like, nothing.
Me too.
Me too. Thinking about StarCraft. Problem is, he'd call the house and my mom would find out I had been up all night playing StarCraft, man. So I had the computer in my room.
Yeah. Did it interrupt your internet connection?
Not at this
That's
point
the
in time.
one way to
No,
get
that
him
was-
not to call.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, hey, listen, you.
Back in the days of dial-up.
Don't you dare call me.
No, it wasn't. If somebody called you, it wouldn't interrupt your interrupt your dial-up. If it was
would.
you, someone picked
It
up the
made
phone
lag.
in your house.
It made lag.
Oh, it made lag.
Both made lag.
Okay. By the way, we got 3 spores coming up here and Phoenix Tech.
Oh, that's cool. That's just completely neato. To go Phoenix here. Wow, I'm so interested because people don't really open Phoenix in this matchup anymore. Because normally it would be like Phoenix Colossus, but Roach Hydra into Viper is super common, and this is like kind of a hard build to play against that. It's like just too much gas all at once. So I'm interested to see what he wants to do with this. Like, will he go with that older school style? It's a very quick third. Maybe that's his plan, is to kind of just get his economy really rolling.
I think there are variants of this. By the way, we got, maybe you said this, but I got so distracted. Did you put out 2 Roach Warrens?
I did not.
2 Roach Warrens, okay. I was thinking about maybe there's different variations of doing this. Now, here's the problem, is when you do 2 Roach Warrens in a TV match, which you're pretty much never supposed to do, then you got to upgrade out of both of them so you don't look bad. But
oh, I think he's doing it on purpose.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I always feel like the double Roach Warren build isn't actually that good, but...
Well, on this map in particular, we see it sometimes, and the third base can really... I mean, with the build that herO's open with, I would say for sure Armani can kill his third, if that's what he wants to go for, but that's a big investment into Roaches.
Do you feel like the follow-up, though, if he gets the third, I feel like Protoss can still sort of segue into a normal game?
Yeah. Well, you put that much into Roaches, and then it becomes like you make a Roach Buster army.
I'll be honest, I am so not familiar with the Zerg's build specifically.
Yeah.
Is there any merit with this specific build of Zerg against what herO's doing? Can you just go into the second base and go up into the main?
Yeah, it definitely can happen.
Is that maybe better than going for the third?
Well, if you can knock down a little piece of the wall, if it's like 1 Zealot thick, you go in single file, and it's like really tough to get past everything.
I'm just wondering that, too, because the core is there. If you got the core... Well, there's a lot of sentries here. Maybe this isn't a good move.
But, you know, this is... It's definitely an attack that can be very powerful if you want to make a lot of Roaches, and it looks like he is committing to quite a few. He made a ton of drones beforehand, so his economy is actually quite nice with like 65-ish drones already.
Burrow's done. Tunneling Claws about 10 seconds away. We do have a Void Ray coming here, which is going to be handy against Roaches.
Certainly, that's going to be a very important unit coming up.
And the RoboBay is just now starting at a pretty vulnerable point if he does go for the second instead of the third.
An important thing to note is the big lack of detection. We just have like random cannons. He started his Robo, but that can be a problem. If they target down the cannons, suddenly you just wait for them to unburrow to attack them, which can be tough.
Okay, now picking up the Roaches here is a good idea. Anything to just slow this down a little bit. This is all about Protoss buying time versus Zerg doing as much damage as possible.
And look, he's trying right there to
This is getting owned so badly.
Trying to get that cannon for a moment.
12 more Roaches here. A lot of Stalkers.
One thing I do want to point out is that this is not like completely all in by Armani. Yes, he's making a lot of Roaches, but he made a lot of drones before starting his Roach production. Sometimes we see this build a lot faster with less drones, but that's going to allow him to have some options as long as he can get some damage in here. But if it gets shut down like that again, he's in serious trouble, mister.
Yeah, you know, I'm surprised he's even being as aggressive as he is with the Phoenixes when he could use them to defend here, but let's see how this goes now.
Well, he's doing a great job against these cannons right now. Going to be able to pick all the ones on this side off.
Yeah, a little bit harder to actually get the Nexus, however.
He's got to be careful with that, trying that move that Tasis wants to see.
Yeah, getting into the main, or the second end of the main. But, you know, herO is sort of just always has enough. This is why herO is so good. I mean, he's making this look easy. He's making this look like there's absolutely no way Zerg should ever do this, but a lot of this is just herO with a very good read, good balancing of the energy on the Phoenixes, how many force fields he's using, the position of every cannon, every gateway, every unit.
And right now it's 3 base against 3 base. We do have some Hydras on the way to try to help this army out, but needs a lot more help than that. Like herO right now, look at the supplies, how close herO is, despite the fact that we've seen so many Roaches made by Armani.
And Zerg's nearly maxed out. And from there you do one big bludgeoning, or attempted bludgeoning assault. and we really get to see the course the game's taking. However, as Artos was saying, yeah, I mean, the supplies are so totally fine here. For herO, it doesn't really, the supply count itself doesn't really lend itself that much. I mean, we consider that this army is roaches. That's a lot of supply that they eat up.
Yeah.
There was a point in time, guys, long ago, in a time far, far away, when roaches cost 1 supply.
Oh, yeah. And had 2 armor.
That
and
was
if
hilarious.
we were still in that time, Armani would have already killed him.
Yeah.
He'd have been like, here we go, and bro moves in 100 roaches.
Yeah.
And hero's just like, oh my god, my 4 immortals cannot deal with this. Like,
but this is not that time. This is not that era. And so, really, the sand is running out of the hourglass here for Armani. I mean, herO is sort of weathered the storm, if you will.
yeah, it's hero's in a great spot. He's going to have Size Storm. He's just getting like the ultimate unit composition. He needs his High Templars out in the front. Of course, we should be seeing Vipers made by Armani coming up here as this Hive finishes. But it's really just going to come down how good are the Blinding Clouds, how good are the Abducts, how good are the Feedbacks, how good are the Size Storms, you know, how good are the Force Fields, how good is the Blink Stalker Micro, how good are the Immortal attacks, how good is the Burrow movement, how good is the Macro, how good is the Micro.
You summed it up, I think, pretty finely, Artos.
Yeah. Did I leave anything out?
Look at a couple things, but it's okay.
Yeah,
it's a live show, so
it's hard.
Well, I guess you could use these roaches kind of at the bottom side of the map. So if Protoss goes to the left side of the map, then the roaches from the bottom come up and try to hit the buildings. I'm not sure how. Problem is, roaches cost so much supply that.
Yeah.
And then, with the Warp Prism Harass, herO really has all of Armani's numbers, man.
Seriously, he does. Maybe you should say them live on television. I guess herO just expands again gradually. Look at that.
What is it, StarCraft 1? Who makes that many cannons with their expansion?
It's awesome. I love this.
Why not? You got the minerals.
He's in such a good shape here. Look at this. Fleet Beacon plus 2nd Stargate. He's getting ready for possible mutas and possible Broodlords. Like, he's just getting absolutely everything you could ever need. But Armani's making a lot of spines. Maybe we're going to see him go into Broodlords again, which could be good. He has a much tougher army to sit under them and protect them this time, at least. So definitely some potential there.
Problem is, I think when the Broodlord play, there's not a healthy push for Zerg across the map to the right side. There is not a lot to stop Protoss from expanding to the bottom right. I don't know. I feel like that's like he turtles up, and then he loses the Siege War.
Yeah, this is so tough.
Not that I have a better answer, but I just...
Well, with herO picking off that base in the bottom left as well, you realize it's now 4 base against 3 base. Like, doesn't get worse than this for Zerg. Oh, man.
So Zerg probably can't be broken, but can't really do any breaking at the same time. And that means that Protoss can, well, hold up.
Well, this could actually end up being quite a nice move. He's got to get rid of some of the supply. Okay, just makes the warp back, of course.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah,
it
loses
doesn't matter.
4th.
It's not even canceled.
Oh, boy.
Well, I am saying that if Armani doesn't do something pretty dramatic pretty soon here, 4 base Protoss versus a 3 base. Whoa, right click through there.
Yeah.
Man. The thing is, Armani is trying his heart out here, but herO's just sort of everywhere.
Well,
and herO's not really doing anything fancy, by the way, guys. He's just sort of there when the bases start. He puts on enough pressure. He runs away at the right time.
He's just getting, like, everything.
Yeah.
Like, this is when you're like, I just really want to make sure this is 3-0. He's just getting every single thing, saying, I am so much better than you. This is so easy that I can just play the safest ever of all time. We've already seen how many cannons he has as 4th.
This game also looks like what a game is when you have 2 players from different leagues entirely. This is not like a normal StarCraft II game. This is like one player is top 3 Protoss in the world, just like Zast. The other player, and by the way, he's actually throwing these units away. In case you're confused, he's actually freeing supply up.
Yes.
He's going to get Tempest. He's going to get
He wants
more,
better units.
I mean, obviously, most of you guys know, but in case that is confusing to you, it stops you at 200 supply. You can't just keep making endless slim units. So what they do is they throw away the units that were not as valuable early on.
Oh my god. Is he actually able to trade these for like 2 Vipers?
Yeah.
And he, look at that, he kills the 4th base for like the 5th time.
I think you might literally be correct on that. I think that was the 5th time he lost that base.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And a lot of those were not cancels.
Yeah.
A lot of those were actually expansions that were killed. So right now, Protoss looks like Zerg, and Zerg looks like Protoss, except that Protoss has Protoss units and Zerg have Zerg units. So,
well, more and more Tempests on the way. I think this is going to be 3-0 tasteless.
I think you're right.
If herO were to bungle the army, Armani maybe could have a comeback. He has a huge bank. He has
also
lost units.
He's also getting a mothership core.
Or mothership, you mean?
I'm sorry, a mothership. We call it mothership core so much. Yes, he's actually getting a mothership, like Wings of Liberty mothership here.
May as well.
Might as well, yeah. And as you can see, there's basically enough to handle sort of everything on the map here. He gets his Nexus. Not exactly a good trade, though.
No.
An observer's there, by the way.
herO actually could not care less that he did that.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I guess so.
And we actually have a Swarm host being made.
Cool. We haven't seen one of those in GSL for quite some time.
Forgot they were in the game. And now with the Tempest here, Protoss just sort of pushes forward as Armani's static defense is sort of, oh wow, nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Kind of rendered obsolete with the range here. Mothership Core's going to come in here. Roach is kind of frantically scurrying around the map here to do damage. Wherever they can.
Something like that can be a good move. Like, he needs to keep his kind of like Deathball type of army together. But he has the Void Rays on patrol at least.
He's just got the perfect amount for everything. DTs are still on the map, by the way. They're in the bottom center, but he might send them up to the center left here in a little bit here.
Yeah, they'll probably kill that for like the 6th time.
Yeah, he's got enough Void Rays here to defend this. This is just a perfect, completely perfect Protoss army for this phase of the game, for the way the game's gone. And it's made Armani look like it's made it absolutely clear that he's not worthy of Code S. If you look at Armani in the booth right now, you can see him puzzled right now.
Well, he's just
as
like,
to what exactly.
Armani is so good, but like herO is just making him not look that way.
Yeah.
But herO, again, he's
honestly,
one of these guys. It's like herO might just win this season.
As good as Zest looked in those games, I think herO actually looks a little bit scarier. To see it this perfect of a game.
herO's generally considered better than Zest at the moment, for sure.
Here we go. Get ready. His DT should be pulled.
Probably forgot he even has him. So much stack D being made right now. Well, herO expanding once again. He wants a 5th base against 3 base Zerg. That's what he's going for. His bank is insanity. Look at that bank.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even actually thought to even point that out. He's at 3.5k and 1.8k gas. And the real story here with Zerg is the gas. He's at about 300 gas, 1.4k a second ago. So
how many subprime mortgages does he control? God.
This is I think he's just going to push in. I think he just attacks it. I mean, that's it, right? This is an invisible army.
This is a true death ball.
This is a true death ball.
Look at that.
Not like when the people say it's a death ball because there's an army with Colossus standing on it, but an actual, like...
You know, this is like you come near it and your stuff dies.
Yeah. Might want to be conservative with those storms there, because he really wants to make sure he gets those corruptors.
The one thing that might be able to stop this is well, I mean, he could theoretically win a battle against this. It is true. Like, if he yanks in with some Vipers, like, it would be pretty costly to do, but he could actually yank in enough and peel this army apart over time, but it's really, really tough.
Look at the positioning here on the ledge. The army tries to go around. First of all, Stalker's going to get this thing and actually blink right up into the main. How funny is this?
Man.
He might even be sacking these, actually, to just make more Tempest, Archons, everything like that.
Yeah, just units that are better.
Okay, so right now Zerg is not mining at all.
Yeah,
I think there's some long-distance units mining, but if you notice, I believe the income's going to drop here pretty
substantially.
Pretty dramatically. Protoss is expanding to the bottom right.
Man.
Right now, again, on the mini-map, it looks like Protoss is Zerg, and it looks like Zerg is a Protoss.
It does look that way.
But it's not the case. It's actually that herO is light years ahead. Now, this expansion just finishes. And so what does Protoss do? He'll probably rotate around the map.
He definitely could. Or he can just keep pushing. Like,
now, look right now at Armani's face. You notice how this is not the face of,
his head tilted to the side.
It's tilted
like that.
to the side.
He's just like,
under the
God. I have a huge,
not,
scary army. I shouldn't leave.
Probably not with a high amount of APM here. Probably actually playing very slow, trying to figure out, as he's pretty much a checkmate here.
Oh, that's funny. He's actually keeping it over 300 during this.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, you look at that, though.
That fourth base, the Immortals are about to kill it again. All right, well, he does. That's a good yank. That's a good yank. Definitely worth it there. And, of course, loses that base once again. Just crazy how many times it's been killed off.
And once again, herO just rotates up again. Now, this is really playing StarCraft as safe as humanly possible.
Yeah.
herO just is not going to take any risks. This game's won. Armani is slowly losing pieces on the board, basically.
Yeah.
And there's not much he can do. He's almost sort of watching this happen here. Just attempting to take the only one of two accessible, if you can even safely use that word, expansions here.
Here, I've got a good one. He's not going for a tricky checkmate. He's just taking all the pieces on the board and making them resign.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it. Now, this army's coming out here. It's pretty scary, but for the resource trade here, the fact that Protoss is at nearly 6K minerals, 3K gas, and Zerg is pretty much at 0. And this is still going to have to be a favorable exchange here for Protoss.
Now, he peeled a lot of good units off the Protoss army there, but he's just making corruptors right now. He's like out of money because, as you said, he just wasn't mining for so long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all that herO has to do is just spend money, make anything he wants, really, and go. Like, he can just make pure Stalker.
And he's almost to the point where he's hitting that hatch now. Now with the Archon down here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the Storms are good. I believe that will be where he taps out here.
Yeah, you're right.
And there it is, GG.
Wow, just completely one-sided.
Yeah, another 3-0. And that's going to leave us with just one more best of 5. So herO goes on now to Code S.
Yes.
One spot remains.
That's right.
herO was so much better between Game 2 and Game 3. I mean, you could really see the caliber of player that herO was. He was so ahead. It's like he got the lead. He blocked all the exits.
Yeah.
He stopped any opportunities anywhere.
He got ahead, and then he got further ahead over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And he just, like, basically had a checklist of the various ways he could lose and crossed all of them off eventually until his opponent left.
Not everybody plays like that all the time, but that was a game where it was really nice to see that. Very safe, very smart, very thorough.
Indeed. Thorough is an excellent way to describe that game. All T's crossed, all I's dotted.
Yeah.
I mean, that just spell check everything.
We're going to go to a short break. When we return, we're going to go on to our final best of 5 here in our last day of the GSL Code